64 matches, 172 goals, and one room where a single blink could cost a nation everything. Most people watch the World Cup for the glory. You watch it for the mistakes. You are the VAR official for the entire tournament. And if you don't see what the referee missed in the next 5 seconds, the wrong team goes home. It is 11:43 p.m. in a windowless room somewhere beneath a stadium that holds 94,000 people. You cannot hear them. You can only see them, on 32 separate screens showing every camera angle of every inch of the pitch simultaneously. Right now, on screen 7, a striker is falling in the penalty area. The referee has not called anything. You have 4 seconds to determine whether it was a foul or a simulation. 4 seconds. One frame of video at a time. While 94,000 people hold their breath above you. While a nation's entire World Cup lives or dies in the space between what you see and what you decide. Your hand moves toward the button. Nobody knows this room exists. Not really. Supporters know VAR exists. They know there is a process. They know that somewhere, someone reviews the decision. They argue about it in bars and living rooms and social media threads at 2 a.m. But they picture a person watching television. They do not picture this. The VAR hub is a purpose-built facility. Reinforced walls. Redundant power systems. Triple-back data connections that can survive infrastructure failures across the host city. Temperature controlled to exactly 19 degrees because research shows cognitive performance begins degrading at 22. 32 screens. Each one showing a different camera feed from the match currently being played. Standard broadcast cameras. Tactical cameras. Goal line cameras. Offside tracking cameras using semi-automated optical technology that plots the position of 29 points on every player's body 50 times per second. You sit at the center console. To your left, your assistant VAR. 11 years of experience. The person whose eyes cover what yours miss. To your right, the offside tracking operator. Responsible for the semi-automated lines that will determine whether a shoulder blade, a knee, a toe, was 1 centimeter beyond the last defender at the moment the ball was played. 1 centimeter. In a tournament watched by 5 billion people. You have been preparing for this room for 9 years. You were a referee first. That matters. Every VAR official at this level begins as a referee because you cannot correctly review a decision you don't understand from the inside. You refereed for 11 years. Regional leagues. National divisions. One continental tournament appointment that ended when a knee injury at 34 made the physical demands of keeping pace with elite play no longer sustainable. The injury should have ended your career. Instead, it redirected it. Your federation offered you a position in the newly established VAR program. This was 4 years after the technology had been introduced at the top level, when the protocols were still being refined, when the margin for procedural error was wide and the criticism was loud and constant. You said yes because the alternative was walking away from football entirely, and you were not built for that. The training was longer than you expected. Not the technical training, learning the software, the camera systems, the offside plotting technology. That took weeks. The decision-making training took years. Because VAR is not about seeing more than the referee. VAR is about seeing correctly in the specific conditions that make correct seeing nearly impossible. Time pressure, crowd noise filtered through walls, the psychological weight of knowing that your intervention will be visible, analyzed, and debated by billions of people who will have the benefit of slow-motion replays you did not have when you made the call. You develop a process. Every reviewable incident follows the same sequence. Identify. Isolate. Analyze. Decide. Never deviate from the sequence. Never. You drill this until it is not a process but a reflex. Then the World Cup appointment arrives. The tournament begins on a Tuesday. Group stage. 48 matches across 16 days. An average of 3 matches per day, sometimes 4, each one potentially containing incidents that require your review. You are not alone in the hub. There is a team. Different officials cover different matches. But as the lead VAR for the tournament, every significant review and every significant match passes through your oversight. Every protocol decision. Every intervention that the on-field referee acts on. The first intervention comes in match 3. A goal. Possible handball in the build-up. 12 seconds of build-up play to review. 6 camera angles. The hand position. The direction of the body. The natural silhouette. You call it. No handball. Goal stands. The decision takes 47 seconds. 47 seconds of silence in the stadium, while 64,000 people wait. The goal stands. Half the stadium erupts. You file your review notes. Move to the next match. By the end of the group stage you have reviewed 23 incidents. 11 goals checked. 4 disallowed. 7 penalty decisions reviewed. 3 overturned. 2 red card incidents assessed. Both upheld. Your accuracy rate, 100%. Every decision reviewed and upheld by the post-tournament assessment panel. You know this number. You also know it is a number built on 23 incidents across 48 matches. The knockout stages are coming. In the knockout stages the incidents don't just determine goals. They determine who goes home. The round of 16 changes the atmosphere in the room. You feel it before you can explain it. The same screens. The same temperature. The same 32 camera feeds. But something in the quality of the silence is different. Because now when you review an incident, you are not potentially disallowing a group stage goal that a team can recover from in their next match. You are potentially ending someone's World Cup. The first elimination incident arrives in the third match of the round of 16. A penalty appeal. 87th minute. Score is 0-0. The referee waves it away on the pitch. Your assistant flags the incident for review. You run the sequence. Identify. Isolate. Analyze. The contact is real. The question is whether it occurred inside or outside the penalty area. The line. You run the offside tracking technology on the position of the foul. The semi-automated system plots the exact coordinates of the contact point relative to the penalty area line. Inside. By 4 centimeters. 4 centimeters. You call the referee. Penalty. It is scored. The match ends 1-0. One team goes through to the quarterfinals. One team goes home. Because of 4 centimeters. Because of a line you drew on a screen in a room beneath a stadium. You filed the review notes. The next match begins in 47 minutes. By the quarterfinals you have watched more football than any human being on earth during this tournament. Not more than the supporters who attend every match. More correctly. You have seen every match from 32 angles simultaneously. You have watched incidents that lasted less than a second in real time across 47 slow-motion replays from 7 camera positions. You have seen things the broadcast cameras missed. Things the commentators didn't know happened. Things the players themselves didn't fully see. You have seen a striker simulate contact so precisely that from the standard broadcast angle it was indistinguishable from a genuine foul. From camera 14, a tactical camera positioned at pitch level behind the goal, you could see the striker's eyes tracking the defender's position a full second before contact, adjusting his run to manufacture the collision. You did not overturn the referee's non-call. Because the referee was right. But you watched it. And you know what you saw. You have seen a goalkeeper handle the ball outside his area in a move so fast it registered on exactly one camera for exactly 3 frames. The referee didn't see it. Your assistant flagged it. You reviewed it. Red card. Penalty. A goalkeeper sent off in a quarterfinal. His team conceded. They lost. You saw something in 3 frames that changed the course of a nation's tournament. You have seen the moments before the moments. The push before the push. The foul before the foul that everyone sees. The decision made 3 seconds before the visible incident that caused the visible incident. You have seen football in a way that nobody who loves football should see it. Because what you see, from 32 angles in slow motion with positional tracking technology, is not a sport. It is a machine. Thousands of small decisions. Thousands of small deceptions. Thousands of small violations that occur in every match, invisible at real speed, unreviewable in the normal course of play, but visible, completely, undeniably visible, from where you sit. You don't tell anyone what you see. There is no one to tell. The first semi-final arrives. The biggest match of your career to this point. A nation that has not reached a World Cup final in 28 years against a nation that has never reached one. The match is tight. Physical. Emotional in the specific way that semi-finals are emotional. The knowledge that losing here is not just losing, it is losing at the last possible moment before everything. You are in the room. 32 screens. 19 degrees. The incident arrives in the 78th minute. A striker goes down in the penalty area. The referee points to the spot. Penalty awarded on the pitch. Your assistant flags it for review immediately. You run the sequence. Identify. You have the incident. Isolate. Camera 7. Camera 12. Camera 19. Camera 23. Analyze. From camera 7, the standard tactical camera, it appears to be a penalty. Contact from behind. Striker's legs taken away. From camera 23, pitch level, behind the goal, the picture is different. The striker's left foot plants incorrectly. His balance is already going before the defender's contact. The contact is real. But it did not cause the fall. The fall was already happening. You have 90 seconds. You watch it 14 times across 4 camera angles. Each time camera 23 shows the same thing. The fall was already happening. You call the referee. Clear and obvious error. Overturn the penalty. No foul. The stadium does not react immediately. Then it does. Half of it erupts. Half of it becomes a sound you have never heard from inside a room and hope never to hear again. The match ends 1-0 to a defensive goal in the 89th minute. The nation that has never reached a World Cup final goes through. The nation that waited 28 years goes home. Because of camera 23. Because of a left foot planting incorrectly. Because of what you saw. The World Cup final. You have been in this room for 31 days. You have reviewed 61 incidents across 63 matches. Your accuracy rate remains 100%. You sit at the center console. The match begins. For the first time in 31 days, you watch football and feel nothing. Not the way you felt nothing in the early matches when professionalism kept emotion at a distance. A different nothing. The nothing of someone who has seen too much of the machine to experience the sport. A goal in the 34th minute. You review it. No issue. Goal stands. A penalty appeal in the 67th minute. You review it. Not a penalty. Referee's non-call upheld. A second goal in the 81st minute. You review it. The offside tracking plots 29 body points on the striker. His armpit, is 2 centimeters beyond the last defender at the moment the ball is played. 2 centimeters. You call it. Goal disallowed. The match finishes 1-0. The winning team lifts the trophy. You watch it on screen 1. 94,000 people celebrating above you. Confetti that you can hear faintly even through the reinforced walls. A nation's greatest moment. You made 61 correct decisions across 64 matches to protect the integrity of this tournament. You feel nothing. You recognize the nothing. It is what happens when you have seen a thing from so many angles, in such granular detail, so many times, that the thing itself stops existing and only the data remains. You have watched 64 matches of the World Cup. You have not watched a single one. The debrief takes 3 days. Every intervention reviewed. Every timeline assessed. Every protocol evaluated for efficiency. Your accuracy, 100% across 61 interventions. The assessment panel describes your tournament as the finest VAR performance in the history of the technology. You read the report. File it. 6 weeks later you are at home on a Saturday afternoon. Your family is watching a domestic league match on television. You sit with them. The match is unremarkable. 2 mid-table teams. Low stakes. The kind of football you watched before any of this began. In the 23rd minute a player goes down in the penalty area. The referee waves it away. Your family reacts. Your son says that was a penalty. Your wife says she couldn't tell. Your daughter is not watching the match, she is on her phone. You say nothing. Because from where you are sitting, on a sofa in your living room, on a normal Saturday afternoon, you can already see from the standard broadcast angle what the 4 cameras you no longer have access to would show. You can see the plant of the foot. The direction of momentum. The exact moment of contact relative to the moment of the fall. It was not a penalty. But you also see something else. Something you cannot unsee now that you have spent 31 days seeing everything. You see the machine. The player's positioning before the incident, deliberate, calculated, designed to create the possibility of the incident. The defender's awareness of the striker's positioning, the micro-adjustment that was both a defensive action and a deliberate gamble on the striker's reaction. 2 professionals. Executing a choreography that neither of them would describe as choreography. That the referee cannot see at real speed. That the broadcast cameras partially capture. That only 32 simultaneous feeds and semi-automated tracking technology can fully document. Your son is still arguing about the penalty. You look at the television. You see a machine performing. You see data points executing. You see 29 positional coordinates per player updating 50 times per second in a space where your family sees football. You turn the television off. Your son says, "Dad, we were watching that." You say, "Sorry." You go to the kitchen. Stand at the window. Outside, a park. Children playing. A makeshift pitch. 2 jumpers for goalposts. A ball that is slightly flat. You watch them. No cameras. No tracking technology. Number 32 angles. Just children playing football the way football was before anyone decided it needed to be seen correctly. You stand at the window for a long time. The next World Cup is 4 years away. They will ask you to return. You already know you will say yes. Not because you love what the room does to you. Because you are the person who sees correctly when everything is designed to make correct seeing impossible. And someone has to be that person. Someone has to sit in the room at 19 degrees and watch 32 screens and review the incident the referee missed and make the call that sends one nation home and lets another one dream for 4 more years. Someone has to see the machine so that everyone else can see the sport. You just didn't know, when you said yes the first time, that the cost of seeing the machine this clearly was never being able to fully see the sport again. Your son knocks on the kitchen door. "You okay, Dad?" You look at him. 14 years old. He watches football the way you watched football at 14. With his whole self. Every match a story. Every goal a moment. Every decision a drama. He doesn't see the machine. You hope he never does. "I'm fine," you say. "Come back and watch the match." He goes back to the living room. You look out the window at the children on the makeshift pitch. The slightly flat ball. The 2 jumpers for goalposts. No cameras. No review. No correct answer. Just the game. You turn away from the window. Somewhere tonight a referee is standing on a pitch in front of 80,000 people. Making decisions in real time. Without 32 screens. Without semi-automated tracking. Without you. And the match is continuing anyway. It always continues.